Hello, this is John Piper with the weekend video, and it's Saturday the 11th of April. We'll start with Bitcoin this morning. Not much has changed really, but we have this rising wedge pattern followed by what looks like an ABC correction, followed by another possible 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the optimists will say that's a 1 and that's a 2. This is a 1 of 3 and now maybe a 2 of 3, and they're about to go shooting up. Well, that's one possibility. There are actually a range of possibilities. It's possible, in fact, that this is a 1, this is a 2, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, this is a 4, and this is a 5th wave. In which case, this is going to be a bigger move: A, B, C, maybe a B, and then a C coming down, perhaps that sort of thing. And the even more pessimistic will say it's all a big ABC, i.e. A, B, C, and possibly a bit higher up because the C wave needs to be around 9,000. So we're still in the land of uncertainty, with various indications. I mean, certainly the governments have gone berserk printing money even more than before, so that should eventually feed into increased crypto prices. But also going to launch their own crypto dollar apparently, so how that impacts on the original cryptos remains to be seen. So plenty of uncertainty, plenty of potential, and plenty of risk. So I guess business as usual. We're just all locked down for a change. Right, gold continues to advance here. I'm not sure about the wave count here. If we treat this as the actual low, this could be a 1, a 2, and it could be that we're getting some kind of third wave coming in here. Remains to be seen, but I remain positive on gold. I think gold it's got the historic stability, if you like, that Bitcoin hasn't got. In times of crisis, gold tends to do well. We're certainly in a crisis, and gold is doing well. It's testing its previous high we saw in March. Let's have a look at a longer term chart. So yes, a break above this level here, around 1700. Will be pretty encouraging. We're pretty close now, 1694, so maybe next week we'll see a solid breakout for gold. Alright, no change on the equities really. We've got this big, what I think is really an A wave down. We're now seeing an ABC, A, B, C, with a level around 6,250 thereabouts, where A, C will equal A. I think we're going to rally to that level or thereabouts, and then we're going to see another leg down, I think. That seems likely. I think there's more bad news to come, I suspect. The rally is more a reaction. I mean, there's been no terribly good news really. I suppose the virus isn't as bad as many may have thought, but then the lockdown is a lot worse than anybody would have expected, I think. I'll discuss the lockdown at the end of this report, actually, because I've got a few points I want to make. So I think that certainly there's a potential for more bad news and another leg down. Hopefully that'll be the end of it, and it might be quite quick, but obviously the future is unknown. Same with DAX really. We've got this ABC decline. I think that's. I did show a stellar chart of a star formation. I forget precisely what it was now. At the time of the peak in the DAX, and it looks like that formation could be said to have actually forecast all this, but it's a bit academic now, I suppose. Right, the DAX will see equal around 11,500, so again another 1,000 points up. Seems to be likely. At that point we may well then head down again. And ditto on the Dow really. So we have this big fall from around 30,000 down to 11.8, 0.38, 38.2% decline pretty much precisely. That's a 5-part move. That is slightly encouraging, but obviously not supported by DAX or FTSE. B, and now 1, 2, 3, 4. So another 1,000 points takes us into the ballpark, where A equals C. 78.6 retracement. That may be a little bit optimistic actually. And I think then we're going to see another leg coming down. At least that's what the charts are saying at this point in time. As I say, there's plenty of potentially bad news around. On the question of these lockdowns, they do seem a little bit extreme. Given the situation, I mean the governments of the world, and three basic possibilities. Either the governments are doing what they should do, they've researched this thing properly, They come to a conclusion that the virus had to be stopped, and they've locked everything down. And okay, it's a judgment call whether the damage being done and the depression being caused and the death that's going to cause, plus the bankruptcies, etc., 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 is actually worth stopping the virus to this extent. I would say it probably isn't, but it's a value call. So the first case is that they're acting in good faith. The second call is that they're just behaving moronically, and it's just a disaster. They should have thought this through more carefully. I doubt that, actually. I don't think. I mean, government is not known for its efficiency, but I don't think the world governments are going to unitedly do something which is just dumb. And the third case is there is a plan, and this is more likely, I think. And the plan seems to involve digital IDs, compulsory vaccinations. For example, there's a fair bit of talk in the media about people who've had the virus are immune, they have the antibodies now, and that they can go out into society quite freely because they can't cause any damage. The inference being that if you haven't got the antibodies, you can cause damage, and therefore you need to be vaccinated, obviously, to get these antibodies, so you aren't a danger to the world. So I think compulsory vaccination, not compulsory. I mean, I think you can always decline a vaccination. I understand. You can say, does this include certain materials which are potentially damaging? The answer is apparently always yes, and then you can politely say, well, in that case, I'll decline it. But the problem is that you'll then have your digital ID card saying not vaccinated. This probably means you won't be able to go on a plane, maybe not to a pub or a restaurant, maybe not drive a car. So it'll come down to compulsory vaccination or perpetual lockdown, I suspect. I mean, it's all a bit gloomy. I'm hoping this is not the case, obviously. What is slightly worrying me at the moment is that there's talk that a vaccination will take some months, if not over a year, to be developed. And I do rather wonder whether the game plan is to keep the current lockdown in place until a vaccination is actually available. I think that's probably unlikely. I think what I think this may be a test phase. They want to test their lockdown muscles. So I think we'll probably be freed at some point in the next few weeks, hopefully. And then there might be a second phase when they want to vaccinate us all for these things and whatever else they want to give us to for whatever the plan might be. Anyway, I think there are those three possibilities. I think compulsory vaccination is definitely part of the plan, but again, I'll be very, very pleased if I'm turned out to be wrong on that. So hopefully lockdown will not be too much longer. I mean, I think there will be some serious revolutions or revolts, and it'd be interesting to see how the states deal with that sort of reaction to people who just don't want to be locked down anymore and can't see any point in it. Anyway, it's all interesting time, certainly, and on that note, I think I'll call it a day, and I hope you found it interesting and useful. Back to report for subscribers on Tuesday. Have a great day, thanks for listening, and have a great holiday weekend, I should say. Thanks for listening, and